And you are here with Senor DeVries, and we are going to talk about more of the American Revolution, and specifically how the American Revolution affected certain populations of people. So, in chapter 13, we have the Revolution's home front. The American Revolution played out on many battlefields, but soldiers were not the only ones to take part. The war had many heroes. It also had many victims. Women gave much to the cause. Enslaved Africans and American Indians were also involved. What was the war's impact on these people? And then the vocabulary word we have to the left is home front. Areas away from the fighting in a country at war. Rachel Wells lived in New Jersey at the time of the American Revolution. She never took part in any battles, but she played a role in the war, and she suffered the dangers of wartime. Wells was a widow, but she was willing to do her part to support the war effort. She lent money to the government of New Jersey. Her funds helped supply the soldiers fighting the British. As she later wrote, she threw in all her might, which bought clothing and let them have blankets. Even with help like hers, however, the Patriots could not hold off the British. At one point, British soldiers came through Wells' town. Before leaving, they robbed Wells of a very large sum of money. She was forced to flee to Philadelphia to try to rebuild her life. By the war's end, she was living in poverty. She had to beg the Continental Congress to help her get her money back. Pray forget not the poor weaklings, she wrote in her plea. Wells's story shows that the American Revolution was about more than soldiers and guns. It affected people all over the colonies. While many men marched off to battle, life went on for many of the people they left behind. Life on the home front could be complicated, and as Wells found out, it could sometimes be dangerous. And then that picture there to the left, the caption that goes along with it, while the men fought in the army, the women were left to defend their homes and care for children. Our next page is Women and the War. Attacks such as the one Wells suffered were common during the war. Soldiers on both sides often raided towns. In addition to taking money, they stole food, clothing, firewood, and other supplies. Many women saw their homes destroyed. Families flying from the houses, wrote one Virginia woman describing an attack on her town. Oh, shocking! Oh, horrible! Surely any spot of earth on this globe where freedom and peace can be enjoyed would now be more desirable than living here. Women faced other hardships too. Finding food was a challenge. Supplies were short, prices were high. Many families went hungry, and poor nutrition put people at risk for disease. Many women and children died from illness. Still, the women carried on. They ran family businesses. They planted and harvested crops. They did their best to take care of their children. Many women did even more. A few served as spies. Others nursed the sick and the wounded. A nurse had a greater chance of dying from disease than a soldier had of dying in battle. Some women used their household skills for the war. For instance, women in Philadelphia led an effort to raise money and make clothing for the troops. Women helped win public support for the war. Writer Mercy Otis Warren, whom you read about in chapter 11, was one example. So was Mary Catherine Goddard of Maryland. Goddard helped publish a newspaper. Some women traveled with the troops and cared for them, and in a few cases, they took part in combat. Anna Lane was wounded at the Battle of Germantown in 1777. Deborah Sampson dressed as a man and fought in several battles. Only when she was wounded did an army doctor discover her secret. Mary Ludwig Hayes Macaulay, known as Molly Pitcher, took her husband's place as a gunner when he was hurt at the Battle of Monmouth in 1778. And then here, with this picture, we have the caption, Women had many roles in the war. Molly Pitcher took her wounded husband's place as a gunner during one battle. This painting shows a black soldier at left protecting his American commander by firing at British soldiers. African Americans and the War. In 1776, 500,000 slaves lived in the colonies. The war brought them challenges, choices, and opportunities. The British offered freedom to slaves who joined their side. Tens of thousands of enslaved African Americans took this offer. They ran away from their owners. Many slaves gave valuable service to the British. They fought in the battle. They served as spies. They performed many jobs in army camps. Many slaves did, in fact, win their freedom. But running away was risky. Sometimes the British turned away slaves who wanted to join them. During the Battle of Yorktown, the British forced away many escaped slaves. Many of them starved or died from disease. Others were caught and returned to their owners. Some African Americans fought for the Patriot cause. For example, Salem Poor was a hero of the Battle of Bunker Hill. This battle was fought at Boston in 1775. Early in the war, African Americans could not join the Patriot ranks. Some white colonists did not want to arm slaves. This worry faded, however, as the war dragged on. African Americans found ways to help the Patriots off the battlefield too. One example is James Armistead. He pretended to serve the British. Instead, he spied on them. For his work, Armistead won his freedom. African American women also helped the Patriot cause. Phyllis Wheatley was a slave. She was also a talented writer. She wrote a stirring poem that honored George Washington. Such efforts raised people's spirits. This was vital during this long, difficult struggle. American Indians and the war. American Indians were another group affected by the American Revolution. They saw both the colonists and the British as a threat, and both the colonists and the British sought to use American Indians to their own advantage. Some tribes sided with the British. They thought that the British were less of a threat to their way of life than the colonists were. A few tribes helped the colonists. Many American Indians, however, tried to stay out of the war. In fact, they hoped that the two sides would weaken each other. This, in turn, would help the American Indians. Staying out of the war proved very hard. Few tribes, in fact, could avoid being caught up in the fighting. Neither the British nor the Americans fully trusted the American Indians. They punished them harshly for helping the other side. Both sides often raided American Indian villages and took food supplies. Hunger among the American Indians was widespread. By the war's end, many tribes were struggling to survive. The Patriot victory had only made things worse. The British had previously tried to slow Western settlement. Now the British were gone. Soon white settlers again were pushing west. They moved in large numbers onto American Indian lands. The Patriots had won independence. The future of the American Indians was once again in doubt. And the caption for this picture is "The British sought to persuade American Indians to fight on Great Britain's side." And that is the end for our chapter today. Thank you.